What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Comedy is Dead with
Da-da-da-da.
Marcella Arguello and Chloe and Mikala.
That's
If
me.
you listened to us last week, we were talking about industry, managers, agents, all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to share this one story
Oh, okay.
that it's so me.
Okay. I
Um,
love Marcella Me stories. I live for them. Tell
just
me.
because, like, I want to encourage everyone to just be your full self, like,
Yeah.
stop holding back. Because also the more yourself you are, the more you're gonna get to where you need to be faster.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's so real. And you've always been yourself.
Yeah,
So,
literally. I
yeah.
mean, it's so funny too because people will like meet childhood friends and they'll be like, "How was Marcella as a kid?" And they're like that. How you know her?
They were like literally the same.
One of my friends, shout out to Bissette, she's like, Marcella was my bully. Like, I bullied this poor girl. And then for whatever reason, I stopped and we became friends. But guys, it's taken a lot of work to like perfect being a bitch, but I think I've nailed it at the age of 41. But so one time, I there was when I was taking a lot of meetings with agents.
Oh,
I had
yeah,
my
yeah,
first
yeah.
manager. She was trying
Yeah.
to. She put me everywhere. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was in all the big ones. It was
Yeah.
crazy because like I was
Yeah.
on at midnight and I was killing it.
Yeah. Was this the one that like was so good that left the industry? Was that
Yes, she was the best. So
we
this was
love
the early
you.
stages where she was still
Yeah.
trying to figure out if she was still doing it. But
Yeah.
anyhow, she set me up with all these agencies and I was taking all these meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And in every single meeting,
Yeah.
I would start by saying, I just want you all to know money does not motivate me. I am not motivated by money. And if that is your big thing for me, I'm not the talent for
I
you.
love that you start out every meeting like that.
Every single
Fuck
meeting. And
yes.
I waited to look at their reactions because some people you could see that they got tight.
They're like,
And some people were like, ooh. Like, when people got comfortable in
yeah.
their chairs, I was like, okay.
They're like, I fuck with this
Yeah,
bitch. Let's
these
go.
people kind of are more by vibe,
Yeah.
which is why I ended up where
Which is honestly such a great tester, though. I mean, you're living your truth. Like, that's the truth. But, like, so great to do
well,
at the top.
thank you. And what was funniest about it was every single time it was like more of a test for me to see people's reactions.
Yeah.
Some people had great poker faces, some people
Mm-hmm.
did not,
Mm-hmm.
both negative and positive. But one of the meetings, like one of the top agents
Yeah.
of the company, he was late, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna so and so will be here soon.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a little late, but he's gonna come in
Yeah.
whenever he's able to come in." And so I say that, and like some of the reps were like, "Oh wow, we like you." Like they
Yeah.
were about it by, and they're like, well, "That's cool. Like we know how to work with it." Like they were
Excited.
excited, super respectful, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, "Whoa, this girl's different." Like that was their vibe.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker, this late agent, he walks in, like knocks down the door, and he was like, "Hey, Marcella, we're going to make you so much money, you won't even know what to do with the money. This is what we're about. We're going to make you so much money. We're going to make a lot of money. We love you. We think you're good. We're just going to make so much money." And the room got so tense because I think they all were like, "We're going to lose her. We're going to lose her because of his stupid ass approach." Luckily, because they had already kind of given me
Yeah.
such a great response, a genuine response,
Mm-hmm.
that I was like, "Oh, can I just not have him as my rep?"
You're like, I'll take
I'll
the
take you
loss,
guys.
but like
Can I
him,
just
he
never
can stay
interact
out in the
with him?
hallway. Actually, that's insane.
It was wild
That's
because some of
crazy.
their faces literally dropped because they
Yeah,
were like,
mortified.
"Oh my god, this is exactly what she doesn't want to hear," and
Yeah.
he's saying the thing. And what's funny is I ended up signing with them because
Yeah.
they were the best. They had the best reaction to it. Like they
Yeah.
really went with it. It was just minus that, but also we all kind of laughed at it. It was like, "Oh, okay, cool,"
Busted down the store. We're gonna make you all the fucking money. We're gonna make you the richest woman in the world.
Yeah, it
And
was
you're
that
like,
thing where it was like I bet he fucking sent a bunch of people to the Saudi Arabia festival.
he was actually the
He was the
spearheader.
main booker.
He was the main booker for that. Make
I
you
know
all
for
the
a
money in
fact
the
he
world.
wasn't, but it was a funny
That
joke.
would be fucking hilarious. So
Yeah,
that's
but
wild.
yeah, that was. I mean, I'm telling you, you got to learn how to. You got to know yourself to learn how to approach every interaction you have in the
Yeah.
industry, so that you get what you want.
Yeah.
Because I will say I was pretty happy with that agency for the majority of the time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were cool about like, yeah, she doesn't care about that. That's not her big thing. Like
Yeah.
it was like if you made hella money, that was like the bonus.
Yeah. No, the
So
money's in the industry. I mean, I've never had an interaction like that before. Where somebody wants to make you all the fucking money in the world.
Like a threat. It was like he was threatening me. I was like, oh my God.
Like brings out a briefcase and just starts shoving money down your throat. And you're like, I don't
Shove it up my pussy.
I've never had an interaction like that. I mean, as far as like money and stand up goes, I think the biggest thing that I remember is not knowing how much host and features make. And the first and I just like had no idea. So like the first club that I booked, I'm thinking like your girl's hosting. I was just like, I wasn't saying this to anybody else, but I'm like driving up to the club. It was like a 2-hour drive, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking make some money, bitch. I'm hosting for a headliner. Like I called my mom, and I was like, you never guess, I'm grabbing all the way up, bitch. I was so hyped because I can't believe I was like, the booker texted me and he was like, you want to host? I didn't even ask questions.
Yeah.
I was just like, yes, because like in the beginning of the career, I'm not asking questions.
No,
I'm like, fuck it, you needed me tonight.
You're excited. That's good.
Like so fucking excited. And I do the shows, I crush, it's great. I was kikiing with the headliner. I was like, woohoo. And I was like, where's my money? And the booker, he's like, okay, here's your check. $100. $100. And I said, oh, okay. And my mom's like, how'd it go? How much you make? And I was like, money doesn't matter. I was like, money, it's about the art, Mom. It's about the art. Okay? Don't you fucking forget it, bitch. And she's like, so you're not quitting your day job? And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. That's funny.
It was so like surreal. And like that was just something that like humbled me. And then another hosting gig for another headliner that I was like so excited to do. I couldn't believe that they had asked me to do it. And I was like, okay, I'm hosting. And at that point I had expectations. I was like, I'm going to make $50 and that's okay. And the girl that I was dating at the time, I was like, hey, I know I'm supposed to fly out and see you, but I'm going to have to push this back. And they were like, well, can't you just ask that? She was like, can't you just ask them to put you up? Can't you just ask them for like this extra money? Like they're asking you last minute. Like she was like telling me I should do all these demands. And mind you, she's an influencer.
Sure.
So she has like no idea.
Right.
And I was like, no, I can't. And she goes, well, this is absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, I don't think you should ever try stand up. Because I was like, this is actually fucking normal.
Right.
Like, no, like I'm going to drive an hour and a half up there. I'm going to make $50 and the headliner's not going to talk to me. And that's stand up.
And you take your ass back home.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And I have my little credit
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's like not a ton of money in stand up.
Comedy is dead because of money.
Comedy is dead because of money.
Comedy
We're all broke.
is dead because of money. There's no money in it until you're invited to the Saudi Arabia Festival. You paid your dues.
And then you won't walk away with money sometimes because everybody's going to attack you and you're going to have a moral issue and then you're going to try to donate it and then they're not going to take it. And yeah.
Money. So that's really funny because so my tips for young comedians, because you will not be making a lot of money, you order a meal as soon as you get there, and then before the kitchen closes, you order a meal to take home. And then that is how you get a little extra
money. Yeah.
You will also, if you can, you have to ask the headliner if you can sell merchandise, but ask the headliner if you can sell merchandise, and always, or hand out stuff, because also you could use it as a way to promote yourself, you know, like stickers or cards or flyers or your next show or whatever. So you do not make money in stand up for many years. You make a little here and there and it's cool.
And don't be afraid to ask for like, because every venue has their different perks. So what I have learned is like, I'm never afraid to ask, like, what are the rules? What can I get? What can I not get? Some venues are like, you can order food and it's on us. Others are just like, food is only for the headliner, you only get drinks. So
That's
like
true.
I'm always like, what are the rules? But I'll sometimes like fawn and be like,
right.
So I can order food tonight, right? And
I forget that some places won't let you order food. I think that's insane.
Yeah. They literally, or they're like, they're like, yeah, you can pay for it. And I'm like, cool. So
that's true. She's right. I have not hosted in a long time. I forgot that they do that. But it does suck because just so everyone does know, The host generally on a comedy club weekend makes
Mhm.
about $50.
Yeah.
The feature makes per show.
For sure. Yeah.
And then the feature makes about $100 or
Mhm.
150 per show. And then the headliner is making around 500 per show as
Mhm.
well. Um, and these are payments that started in the 1980s, and
That's
they
yeah.
haven't changed them.
That's what Beth told me. I
And
was
it's
shook.
awful.
Yeah.
And it's the reality of the game. With inflation, like
Yeah.
comics just didn't make much money. Like there used to be a time where comics were making money. $50 for
Ri
hosting was
well, I
money,
guess back in
honey. Yeah,
$50
yeah.
back in the day.
Imagine if
Yeah.
your rent was
That's
$200
true.
and
$50
you
for
were making
hosting.
$50. It's great.
Wow, is that why they were happier back then?
Yes,
That's
that's why they
crazy.
were
That's
committed, and
how they
that's why
could
they all had
afford
drug problems.
drugs.
Yes,
That's how they could afford drugs.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
It must.
Okay.
It definitely was happier
Wow.
times.
That makes sense.
So when you do begin touring, if you could tour as an opener, or if you can tour as a headliner,
Mhm.
a lot of touring comedians, they make the majority of their money on
Merch.
merchandise, you
Yeah.
guys. Merchandise is how you make your
Yeah.
money, which is why you should support not just your local venues, but support whoever is selling. That's why it's always so sad that like openers have to ask headliners to sell merch. Whenever
Yeah.
I'm a headliner, I'm like, please sell merch. Make whatever you need to do. Make your money. Like I'm
Yeah.
not here to stop you. If people want to buy from both of us, great. If they only want to buy from you, I don't care. Like I'm
Mhm.
good because if I'm headlining, I'm doing better than you. You know.
Yeah.
Um, and so I always encourage comics to get as much touring in as possible so that you can like
Mhm.
learn to have those transactional interactions with your fans after shows, because
Mhm.
the really great thing about selling merchandise after shows is that you learn how to end a conversation with the fan who does not know how to get the fuck away from you, because that's
Ye
another
I'm
aggravating
really bad
part,
at that. Yeah.
is that like sometimes people go, oh my god, and then and so I've learned,
Mhm.
oh well, at one point when there's did you want to buy a shirt, did you want to buy
Yeah.
a shirt, oh okay, well it was nice to meet you, all right, have a good one, like just fucking get them
End
out
it.
of there.
Yeah.
And selling merch really helps you do that.
Mhm.
And it's one of the best parts about touring is when you get to meet your
Mhm.
fans and really interact with them. But sometimes it is also the
Wow.
worst part of touring is
Yeah.
interacting and meeting
You
some
fan
people that are just nuts and have way
Yeah.
too many opinions and you just don't care.
I actually never thought about merch in that way as far as another catalyst for interacting with fans.
It's a really great way
Like,
to keep it
yeah,
strictly business. It's a great way to
business.
remind them, I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
This is business for me,
Yeah.
you know? And it's also like why, if you can only afford like a handful of stickers and maybe you sell them for $1 or whatever,
Mhm.
people give you $5. People will
Yeah.
tip you, and that's cool. But it's just a good way to keep it transactional, because
Mhm.
I do have fans have a tendency not to realize that like I can't just talk to you. I have to
Yeah.
talk to everyone. And I
Everyone.
also sometimes you don't have the energy to talk to people. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you're on your period. Like
Yeah.
there's multitude of reasons. Like you don't want to be doing this, but you
Mhm.
have to do it because you're at work, just like any other job.
Yeah.
And if you can learn how to keep some of these moments transactional, not to like say that every fan is like a piece of shit or anything, but
Yeah.
like it's sometimes like they just don't understand. Like I appreciate how eager you are to meet me, and that's
Mhm.
cool. And I'll sign whatever, take a picture, and sell you whatever.
Yeah.
But like I got to keep this moving. I have another show to prepare for, and it also kind of allows you to be like, okay, I got to leave now. I have to put
Yeah.
this away, and I need to go get ready for my
Once
next
that
show.
yeah, and I don't talk about money, but to that point, some fans do forget. Sometimes I forget. We're at work.
We're at work.
We're at work.
You're at
We're
work.
literally at
You might
work.
be shit faced drunk, but you are
But
at work.
work. Yeah, there is no money and it kind of sucks. But then like when those like cuz I'll never forget like the first I would say like bigger money stand-up gig that I got. I kind of like didn't know what to do. Like I felt like I was like, okay, do you have a contract? Because any other show that you do, there's no contract. Like
Right.
it's in writing, like you said, and this is how much you're gonna do. But for the bigger ones, I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, okay. And I remember the first time I was like negotiating
Oh, that's
money and
cool.
I was like, oh, cause they didn't know, so they asked me. They were like, we want to
Mm.
book you for this weekend. Like we're gonna put you up X, Y, and Z. And I was like, okay. And they were like, how much
So
is
you
your
just so you
fee?
guys know, we're gonna put you up implies that they're gonna get you a hotel, and usually you're gonna have ground transportation,
Yes,
and hopefully you
yes.
have a flight involved as well. But those
I
those
was,
are the things that
yeah,
you want. You want a flight, a hotel, and ground transportation, and hopefully
yes.
maybe a per diem, some money for food.
And I'm at this point in the stage where I'm like, if you can put me up, because another thing that people don't know is like hosts don't get put up.
Right.
Features and headliners will get put up. But if a lot of
And
clubs,
sometimes features don't.
oh, that is
That's
true.
why headliners bring their features so they could share a hotel room.
Hotel, oh yeah. But I was just like, okay. So they asked me what my fee was, and I was like, I'm gonna shoot up and see if they, because I was like, if they're asking me, that means they don't know. So I'm gonna give them a number that I can like, work with.
Right.
And then I said the number, and they were like, okay. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's cool.
Which is crazy because that also means that you could have gone higher.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. But I was trying, because it was like a black LGBTQ event. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to like, yeah. But if it was white people, I was like, $10,000
Reparations.
but yeah, I was just like, whoa, like that's so crazy. So yeah, anytime like a bigger money thing comes along, I'm kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm in my bag.
that's it's funny. I do remember the first purchase I made with comedy money, and it was
Oh, yeah.
a digital watch
Oh,
because I
really?
wanted to be better at keeping my time and on
That's so
stage.
cool.
And
Yeah.
so I loved having these big digital numbers so that I
Yeah.
could just kind of be like, okay, I know what 10 minutes is, I know what 7 minutes is. So
Mhm.
I'm really good at timing myself
Mhm.
without a watch now because
Yeah.
that was one of the earliest things I did was like making sure
Yeah.
that's investing in yourself. We want to talk about money. You
Oh,
got to learn how
yeah.
to invest in yourself. Like that
Yeah.
was one of those like early years of like I'm bad at keeping this is when before phones were like the thing.
Yeah.
I was using a digital watch,
Mhm.
and it was because I was like, oh, I'm gonna use this money because I had a day job. Like I was fine, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna treat myself and get like a fancy $200 leather. I think it was Kenneth
Watch.
Cole men's watch. It was
Oh, come
beautiful.
on.
I wish I would have kept it. I don't know why I got rid of it.
Yeah.
Stupid, but investing in yourself is the best thing you can do with that money that
Mhm.
you make,
Yeah.
especially while you still have a day job.
Yeah.
Whatever you make in comedy, like yeah, sure you can use it as fun money, but if you
Yeah.
can learn how to reinvest in
Mhm.
yourself, I'm gonna use the most extreme example, which is Zhao Yang Summers,
Mhm.
who is she was a novice comedian.
Mhm.
I believe she's based in LA now,
Yeah.
and she basically, well, yeah, she moved to LA. She bought a venue so that she could perform every night because LA is one of the most notoriously difficult
Yeah,
places to perform
that's what I've
frequently every
heard.
night.
Yeah.
And so she bought herself a like you want to talk about someone who, if you have money
That's incredible. Like she bought a whole ass
and then
venue.
was able to like set up cameras so that
Yeah.
she could record everything, and so she's constantly posting clips, and I
Yeah.
believe it's from her venue. And it's that thing where it's like money really will get you where you need to be. And that's what's
Yeah.
so frustrating because when you don't have it, you're like, what
You're
the
like,
fuck
what the
do
fuck
I
am I supposed to
do?
do?
What can I do? I can't invest in myself. No one's investing in me. It's really frustrating. It's difficult. You
Yeah.
really are like scraping and trying
Mhm.
your best. And there are plenty of comedians who have exist. I mean, even I don't want to say I lived in my car, but I lived out of my car for many years because
Mhm.
it just didn't make financial sense to live in LA because there's
Mhm.
not a great it's not a great city to build stand
Your
up
career, and yeah.
and make money doing stand
Yeah.
up. Like all California, you can make money all up and down California. You can
Mhm.
make you can make a living. You can make hella money
Mhm.
performing all up and down from the northest part of California to all the way down to like the San Diego area
Yeah.
and beyond. Um, but it's really difficult to just live in one city in California and make a living doing stand up.
Mhm.
I mean, as a no name with no credits.
Yeah.
But you can if you have a car and you can get all up
Up
and
and
down and
down.
you network and you know the next, you know where you're going, you know the next
Mhm.
person, you know the next venue. Because I definitely slept in my car at venues to save money because they wouldn't put
Put
me
you
up.
up.
And I was like, I want to fucking come up. So like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
sleep in my car tonight. And it was this one particular one was one of
Yeah.
the scariest things. I was like in a Walmart shopping center. Yeah, I mean, like you need to learn how to invest in yourself, and
Dang.
unfortunately that's why they people, especially women, drop out of comedy because it's
It's
awful. It
yeah.
can be really awful. It can be really
Yeah.
scary. You end up taking gigs. You're by yourself all the time, and the money's not great. And you are
Yeah.
like, "Is my safety worth it?" And
I think about that too. Like it didn't really like hit me until I was at like a um because I've just like driven all over the Midwest for shows and comedy festivals, and it didn't really hit me that I was like alone and probably shouldn't have been. Like, I was just like alone, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go pick up pizza before my next show, and I was like, this looks bright, and I'm like walking down, and I make a hard left, and it is like dark, and
Ooh.
I'm like, okay, but I was really fucking hungry, but I like stuck with it, but it didn't hit me until that moment to where I was like, male comedians don't really feel this.
No.
I was like, but I'm hungry. I have to feed
Yeah.
myself, so I have to go. But I was like, oh, okay. So anytime now, if I'm doing that, I'm always try to hop on the phone with somebody.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna walk
Oh,
anywhere.
yes. I've
Yeah.
done that a lot. I remember one time in New York, I got off the train and I was headed to wherever I was staying. And I just looked at the area and I was like, I'm going to be on the phone. And I
Yeah.
called my brother. And I'm really glad I did because
Yeah.
sure enough, somebody pulls up $100, $100, $100, $100. It's the middle of the night. Of course, that's,
Yeah.
and you know, bitch, this is how I dress for a podcast. I can't even imagine what I was wearing that night. I like to dress as myself, you know. I'm not gonna let these fucking
First of all,
creeps.
$100. That's a low ball. It's gotta be
I don't know.
more.
Maybe I looked like shit that day. I don't know. Maybe he was waiting for someone to negotiate. But I was glad I was on the phone with my brother because I was like, Nick, guy's yelling $100 at me. He's like, what? While you're on the phone? I was like, yes. But that it's very scary. But and
Yes.
that's the reality of it is like you need money to keep going. I hate it, but it's true. That's true with everything, though. Let's be
Yeah.
real. We live in a fucked up society.
Right.
And
Yeah, anybody say money who doesn't buy happiness is a fucking liar.
yes, you can buy
Yeah.
security, which will bring you
Bring you
happiness. So I strongly encourage comedians who are struggling, go get that EBT money, bitch. Don't
Yeah.
fucking feel bad about it.
Yeah.
We have invested so much. You invest every time you have a job, you know, into these systems.
And don't feel bad if you have a day job either. That's another thing
Yeah.
too. Like whatever you need in that moment that'll help fulfill and propel your career, like don't feel bad about it. Because I know some
Yes.
comedians are like, I'm gonna quit my day job, and I was like, okay, but then you're gonna be homeless. Have we thought through
Yeah.
this? Like, have we thought through this?
It's tough. It's really scary. It's very. I mean, that's why they say following your dreams is scary because
Yeah.
you really are just like jumping into an abyss of
Mhm.
you don't even
Nothing.
know. You don't even know what you're jumping
It's a
into.
black hole.
It is. It really is a black hole. And money has really ruined the art. It's really
Mhm.
made things tough. I mean, the pandemic, you know, that really fucked up a lot of shit. And a lot
Yeah.
of comedy clubs continue to suffer. Many venues closed because
Mhm.
there was no income.
Yeah.
There were no PPP loans for everybody.
Mhm.
And a lot of venues shut down. And then also the other thing that happened that I found very interesting, which is also proof that there is always going to be money in performing and
Mhm.
stand up and performing live, was a lot of the actors who
Yeah.
gave up comedy.
Oh yeah, they came back.
They came back.
They did. I was
because
noticing that trend.
that money is
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
It's consistent. It's everywhere. And if you
Mhm.
can sell at a venue, you'll get bonuses.
Yeah.
And it was for me, it was like, it made me happy in a way because
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, bitch, go back to your
Your
roots.
roots.
Because that's where the real shit is. That's where
Yeah.
the real, like, you get to be yourself, you get to make money.
Mhm.
And yeah, sure, it's not fucking a Marvel movie,
Yeah.
but you know, like, you can
But
perform
still.
and you get to make money and you get to be out there and you get to exist.
Yeah.
And I always love that Joan Rivers was like, you know, beauty, you know, your looks will fade, but when you're a comedian, it doesn't matter because people will always listen to you talk.
Mhm.
Like, you can be sitting down talking if you're funny, and people will always pay to listen to you.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I do think stand-up comedy is one of the best forms of performance in art because it's really just you and your thoughts, and people are like, tell me your thoughts.
Tell
We
me
wanna
more.
hear it. And I love that. But I found it interesting that
Mhm.
that a lot of these former comedians that became actors that now are like, wait, let me get back in.
Yeah.
We're taking up. The trickle down effect was it ruined the
Yeah.
weekends for people who like what we
That had
talked
been
about the
doing it.
last episode where it was like venues used to book you once a year and then it turned into 18 months. Well,
Yeah.
part of that was all those guys coming back
Mhm.
and then the TikTok comedians coming in.
Yeah.
But you know, business is business. These
Business.
business are like hey, they're selling out. You're not
They
selling
sell
out, so
out.
we got to book
Just-
these people, and it's really
Yeah.
frustrating because you hope that there's a balance.
Mhm.
And during the pandemic, it seemed like it was more like we need to only book people that sell out.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's finally
it's starting to
shift
shift
a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty tough.
Yeah, I agree. It is starting to shift a little bit, but it's like, yeah, you can't fault the venues for
Mm-hmm.
needing to keep their doors open,
Right.
even if it is a TikTok comedian.
Yeah, they need. I
You're
mean,
just
look, they
like,
sell tickets. There's TikTok
yeah,
comedians that they can sell tickets, and I can't, and that is what it is. You have to
yeah,
accept it. That's why, again, you can't take shit personally. Like, you just have to
mm-mm,
keep working, work harder,
yeah,
work smarter, whatever it takes. I did want to talk about negotiating, but I also like,
mm.
do, I've had a lawyer for so long. That like
Brag.
yeah, it is.
It's pretty
I'm
cool.
so happy with her. She's been like my best companion in
Mhm,
my journey
mhm,
of performance, because she always has my back. She's always down to argue with me, and we usually have the same perspective. I remember
mhm.
one time after I recorded my album, I think I got an offer from a streamer to record an hour, and my agents were trying to talk me into doing it. And
Oh,
like they were really like, no, Marcella, you got, and I had just recorded my album,
yeah,
and this was my first album. This had years and years of material
yeah,
that I had been working on. And I was like, guys, I'm not doing this. Like, I had a feeling this was going to happen, that as soon as I recorded my album, someone was going to offer me an hour, and I
mhm,
don't have it. I don't
yeah,
have it. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not trying to put out garbage. I
yeah,
like popped off on my agents, and my lawyer, she ended up calling me separately, and she
yeah,
was like, Marcella, I'm so happy that you said that, because if you didn't say that, I was going to say it.
yeah,
And it made me so happy, because I was muted, and I was like, yeah, Marcella, go girl. And it made me happy to know that she really like, she sees
yeah.
my
That she had your
vision,
back.
and she has my back. But she's been my main negotiator. So like, I feel like I missed that.
Mhm.
So I'm like so bad to ask that about,
Yeah.
because a lot of people will ask me those
Mhm.
questions, and I just want to say, don't ask me about
I would say it's
negotiating.
like for like newer and younger, it's about like picking and choosing your battles, right?
Exactly.
Like if a bar show's like, "Hey, come do the show 10 minutes for $20." You're not like, "Can I have 50?"
Right.
You're fucking either
No.
saying yes or no.
Yes.
Like, and if you're first starting out at a club, you're not gonna, and they're asking you to host, you're not gonna be like, "Can I have more
Yeah,
money?"
those
No, you say
there's certain
yes.
places that you cannot get more
No.
money, and that's just not
Yeah.
going to happen. But
Yeah.
like your situation with that
Yeah.
group, it's cool, because the other thing is, I've over the years, because I like, this is just me though. Again, I'm not
Mhm.
fame hungry. I'm not money hungry. So like sometimes when people will hit me up, and they'll be like, well, we only have a small budget, so let us know what your rate is. And I'll
Mhm.
say, let me know what your budget is.
Yeah.
What's your budget?
That's a good question.
Because
Yeah.
I want to do, again, like,
Yeah.
however many episodes ago I said, I would rather be working than not working,
Yeah.
unless it seems dangerous or weird or
Mhm.
inappropriate, right? Um and so a lot of the times I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And
Mhm.
sometimes when people are like, we don't know if we can afford you, and then they're like, all we have is $2,000. I'm like, bitch,
You're like,
that's
yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
To do comedy,
Mhm.
come on.
Well, because some people who don't know who aren't familiar with the business, but they're just putting on this one-off show or this one-off
Right,
gig, they're like very naive. So it's
right.
kind of just like, so they think like, oh, it's Marcella. She's gonna work for a minimum of
Right,
$100,000, and
right,
you're
right.
just like, you're like, I'll do 1,000 if you
Yeah.
can put me up,
It's
pay
one
me, feed
show.
me, fly me.
Yeah.
I
We're
mean, it's like,
good.
yeah,
I can sell merch.
like
Cool. Like, I'm
exactly.
happy. Like, but that's me. So like, again, I'm always the worst person to ask about this stuff. But I do think if you are completely green, you don't know how
Yeah.
to navigate that. It's, what's your budget? Let me know what your
Mhm.
budget is, and I'm happy to work within that if it makes sense for me. Oh,
Yeah.
I think my biggest advice is always leave an opening to get out of the situation.
Yes, I
Always leave
agree.
a opening so that you can say
Mhm.
no respectfully, but also
Yeah.
just be like, ooh, that doesn't work for me.
I
Because
always like my phrase is like if somebody asks me to do something, I'm kind of like I don't know, I need to think about it. I'll be like I gotta double check my schedule.
yeah, that's a good
I'm
one.
like gotta double check my
But let me
schedule.
know the rate.
Yeah, what's your
Send me the
rate?
rate, and I'll
Rate
talk to my
budget? What are you
manager.
working
Even
with?
if you don't have a manager, I'll
Mhm.
talk to my manager
Manager?
about it. Like, dude, don't be scared to just bullshit a little, just if you
Yeah.
don't know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Just don't say like, I'm not sure what my rate is. I don't have a rate. Like, just don't say that shit.
Yeah, and I think too, like I agree with that, and again, like picking and choosing the battles because there is a lot of, especially when you're starting out, like having to pay your dues. Like
Hmm.
you're gonna have to host a club show for a while
Yeah.
sometimes, and that's just like part of paying your dues. But you're learning so much. Like you're not gonna be making, it, but you're
It's
learning
invaluable.
so
Hosting, I mean,
much.
I don't know how much I can emphasize that hosting is the
God,
best way to get really, 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 really good at stand up. But it is, and so you should take all the hosting gigs. You should volunteer to host. Like, yes, it's shitty. It's a lot of work. I mean, basically, you're making what, $50 for like an hour and a half of work. It's not the best, but if it's a
No.
thing that you love,
Yeah.
you're gonna appreciate it for what it is.
Well, and the money and like you're also getting it's like shitty to say, but like you're also getting paid in credits
It's
and
true.
but it's
It's
true. Like
true.
I know that I have been able to get other better paying gigs because I paid my dues
Yeah.
and I have those credits or I've made those connect because it's also like you're getting paid in making connections too.
Yeah.
So
You're getting paid with experience. Like, I know that people don't like
exposure,
that
which
shit, but it's true as a comic because, and the other thing is, if you're not getting paid great, I'm notorious
yeah.
for when I'm at a show, and say it's, even if it's, whether it's packed or it's empty, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll say, how much did you pay to get in here? I'll ask you, how much did you pay to get? Is that how much you paid? And if they tell me something like it was $5, I'm reading off my notebook, bitch. You're not getting the best version. But I've had it where I'm like, how much you pay to get in here? And somebody goes $35. I go, okay,
You're gonna get my best material.
Let me put away my notebook. Like, you gotta, if you are good at learning how to balance and navigate what money means for you and what it means in the business world of comedy, you'll thrive.
Yeah.
And it's also the other thing about here's a good one, and we'll end on this because I gotta get out of here. But I had a situation where my agents got an offer for me.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, they got an offer for me.
Yeah.
How I learned about this offer was so Murs was throwing a comedy hip hop show. Murs is an underground rapper. He's from Living Legends and really, really great. I'm a big fan. I've supported him for years. We are friends. And this group, oh my God, I wish, fuck, I can't, their name is escaping me right now. I wasn't planning to tell the story. It's called the Smoked Out Barbecue Fest is what I have now done with them subsequently because of this initial gig, okay? So this initial gig, I saw it as a flyer, I think either a homie or maybe Murs posted it.
Yeah.
And it was going to be in Oakland, and it was going to be comedy and rap, hip hop. I was like, all my friends are on this?
Yeah.
I'm a huge hip hop fan. Why the fuck am I not doing that? I was pissed. I DM'd, why am I not on this show?
Yeah.
Whoever, I don't remember who I DM'd. And they were like, yo, we sent an email. We sent multiple emails to your agents, and they said you weren't interested. I was like, excuse me? They're like, we would love to add you. We'll happily add you. The budget is really small. I think it was like $500, and I was like, I don't care what the budget is. I want to be on this show.
And they kept that, but your agents kept that from you?
So I called my agent. I was like, hey, what's up with this? I sent them the image, and I said, what's up with this? I was told you guys all got this offer, and they're like, well, we just looked at the lineup and we thought you didn't know anybody on here, and we just didn't think it was right for you. And I was like, never again do you guys get to make a choice for me ever. In terms of live stand-up performances, you guys do not get to say no on my behalf without running it by me. They got a mouthful out of me that day because I was like, you don't get to say no. This is the type of these are passion projects. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
You don't want to fucking make $50.
Yeah.
Send the shit to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want the commission, I'll handle booking it myself.
Yeah.
I was like, but they went the proper route, and you guys told them no, and this is the shit I love to do. A hip-hop comedy show? Bro, that's my whole shit. And I ended up doing the show. They got a mouthful, and subsequently, oh my God, what was it, last year? Maybe 2 years ago. I got to host their, because they've done like 4 or 5 events since that thing. And that was their first one, and I got to do it. Killed it. I was one of the only comics that killed it because I understand hip hop fans because I am a hip hop fan.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite gigs, and I got to fucking host a show, and I basically I can put that I got to host or open for Too Short, E40, like a bunch of motherfuckers that I love.
E40?
Yeah, I got to share a stage with that fool. Isn't that cool? All going back to this one gig.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't a loudmouth bitch and said, why the fuck am I not on this show?
Yeah.
If I wasn't that forward ass bitch, I wouldn't have gotten that spot.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have found out that my agents were doing me dirty. Because again, you don't know what these motherfuckers are up to. Anyways, we got to get out of here. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But this is Comedy is Dead, the money episode. We wanted to keep it light and tight because money is a confusing topic, I think, for a lot of people. And there are no straight answers about how to make more money in comedy. It's like you either are passionate about what you're doing and the money will come, or you're passionate about what you're doing and the money won't come, and you
Yeah.
fucking learn how to survive. And that's the reality of stand-up comedy and live performances. So
Yeah.
yes, this is Comedy is Dead, the Money episode with Chloe, Mikala, and Marcella Arguello, you
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.